Welcome to Bare Metal Cyber, the podcast that bridges cybersecurity and education in a way that's engaging, informative, and practical. Each week we dive into pressing cybersecurity topics, explore real-world challenges, and break down actionable advice to help you navigate today's digital landscape. If you're enjoying this episode, visit baremetalcyber.com, where over 2 million people last year explored cybersecurity insights, resources, and expert content. You'll also find my books covering key cybersecurity topics: Industrial Control Systems Under Siege, Battling Advanced Cyber Threats. Industrial Control Systems, ICS, and Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition, SCADA, systems are the hidden backbone of modern civilization, quietly ensuring the smooth operation of power grids, water treatment facilities, manufacturing plants, and transportation networks. Originally designed for reliability and efficiency, these systems were not built with cybersecurity in mind, leaving them highly vulnerable to modern threats. As cybercriminals, nation-state actors, and insider threats target critical infrastructure, attacks on ICS and SCADA have evolved from theoretical risks to real-world disruptions with devastating consequences. Legacy technology, insecure communication protocols, and poor network segmentation create numerous attack vectors that adversaries exploit to gain control over essential services. To combat these risks, organizations must adopt proactive security measures, implement robust incident response plans, and future-proof their systems against emerging threats, all while maintaining the operational stability that industrial environments demand. Understanding ICS and SCADA systems. Industrial control systems, ICS, form the backbone of modern infrastructure, quietly enabling the seamless operation of critical industries. These systems encompass a range of technologies designed to manage, monitor, and automate physical processes across sectors like energy, manufacturing, utilities, and transportation. At the heart of ICS are supervisory control and data acquisition (SCADA) systems, which provide centralized oversight of distributed processes, allowing operators to control industrial operations from a distance. SCADA systems play a crucial role in ensuring efficiency and reliability, whether in regulating power distribution, optimizing factory assembly lines, or managing water treatment facilities. Their integration into essential services makes them indispensable but also highly vulnerable to cyber threats that can disrupt entire economies and public safety. The architecture of ICS and SCADA systems is composed of multiple interconnected components that work in concert to control physical processes. Sensors and actuators act as the eyes and hands of the system, gathering real-time data and executing commands. Controllers, such as programmable logic controllers, Qs, and remote terminal units, RTUs, process input data and issue operational instructions to ensure that industrial processes function as expected. Human-machine interfaces, HMIs, serve as the bridge between operators and automated systems, providing visualization and control dashboards that streamline decision-making. These components communicate using specialized industrial protocols like Modbus, DNP3, and OPC-UA, which were designed for reliability but often lack built-in security features. The increasing convergence of IT and operational technology, OT networks, has further complicated ICS security, exposing previously isolated systems to cyber threats that exploit remote monitoring and control functionalities. Unlike traditional IT systems, ICS and SCADA environments exhibit unique characteristics that pose significant security challenges. These systems are built for longevity, often remaining in operation for decades, which means many still rely on outdated hardware and software with limited security capabilities. Frequent updates and patches standard in IT environments are rarely feasible in ICS, as even minor changes can disrupt mission-critical operations. Real-time performance is a fundamental requirement, with systems designed to execute commands with minimal latency to ensure process stability. Furthermore, ICS and SCADA environments often depend on proprietary hardware and software, making standard security tools and approaches difficult to implement. These constraints create a complex security landscape where legacy technology meets modern cyber threats, leaving critical infrastructure increasingly exposed. The threat landscape for ICS and SCADA systems is evolving rapidly, with adversaries leveraging sophisticated tactics to disrupt operations and cause lasting damage. Advanced persistent threats, APTs, have been observed targeting critical infrastructure, deploying stealthy and highly customized attacks that can remain undetected for extended periods. Ransomware attacks have expanded beyond IT environments, crippling industrial operations by locking access to essential control systems and data. Insider threats, whether through malicious intent or human error, pose additional risks, as individuals with authorized access can inadvertently or intentionally compromise system integrity. Supply chain vulnerabilities further complicate security efforts, as adversaries increasingly exploit weaknesses in third-party software, hardware, and service providers to infiltrate ICS environments. With these mounting threats, securing ICS and SCADA systems has never been more critical, requiring a proactive and tailored approach to protect the industrial operations that keep society running. Common vulnerabilities in ICS and SCADA systems. Many industrial control systems, ICS, and supervisory control and data acquisition, SCADA, environments still operate on legacy systems that were never designed with modern cybersecurity threats in mind. These systems often run outdated operating systems and software versions that lack critical security patches, making them easy targets for attackers. Built-in encryption and authentication mechanisms are typically absent or rudimentary, leaving sensitive commands and data transmissions exposed. Unlike IT environments where security updates are routine, ICS systems frequently struggle to support modern security protocols due to their age and limited computational capabilities. Hardware protections are also minimal, as many industrial devices prioritize operational efficiency over security, creating an ecosystem where outdated technology continues to control critical infrastructure without adequate defenses. Poor network segmentation remains a glaring weakness in many ICS and SCADA deployments, allowing cyber threats to spread with little resistance. Historically, these systems were designed as isolated, standalone environments, but the increasing integration of IT and operational technology, OT, networks, has created new attack vectors. Many ICS environments still operate on flat network designs, where there is little separation between corporate IT systems and mission-critical industrial processes. Firewalls, demilitarized zones, DMZs, and other segmentation measures are often missing, making it easy for an attacker who gains access to one part of the network to move laterally across the entire infrastructure. Unsecured remote access points, frequently used for maintenance and monitoring, further weaken security by providing an easy entryway for attackers. Without strict control over internet communication, ICS environments remain vulnerable to unauthorized access and disruptive cyber attacks. Insecure communication protocols present another major risk, as many ICS and SCADA systems rely on outdated or unprotected methods for transmitting critical operational data. Legacy protocols such as Modbus and DNP3 were built for reliability, not security, and often transmit information in plain text, leaving them highly susceptible to interception. Authentication mechanisms for SCADA commands are frequently weak or non-existent, allowing attackers to forge or manipulate instructions that could disrupt industrial processes. Man-in-the-middle MITM attacks are a serious concern in these environments, as attackers. Additionally, many ICS systems depend on proprietary, non-standardized protocols, which can create challenges for implementing security solutions and often leave vulnerabilities unpatched due to lack of vendor support. Human and process vulnerabilities further compound the security challenges faced by ICS and SCADA environments, as operational mistakes and poor security practices can be just as damaging as external cyber threats. Misconfigurations in access controls or network settings can create unintended security gaps, allowing unauthorized users to manipulate critical infrastructure. Insider errors, whether intentional or accidental, are a frequent cause of security breaches, with employees and contractors often having extensive access to sensitive systems. Security awareness among OT personnel is often lacking, as many industrial operators have historically prioritized availability and uptime over cybersecurity. Incident response plans tailored to ICS environments are often inadequate or non-existent, leaving organizations scrambling to react when an attack occurs, rather than proactively mitigating risks. Advanced threats targeting ICS and SCADA. The emergence of weaponized malware like Stuxnet marked a turning point in cyber warfare, demonstrating how digital threats can cause real-world damage to critical infrastructure. Stuxnet was specifically engineered to target industrial control systems, sabotaging uranium enrichment centrifuges by exploiting zero-day vulnerabilities in ICS software. Unlike traditional malware, its payload was designed to manipulate programmable logic controllers, PLCs, ensuring that only specific hardware configurations were affected while avoiding detection. This level of precision highlighted the devastating potential of cyber attacks against industrial environments, proving that adversaries could infiltrate ICS networks and alter physical operations without triggering immediate alarm. Lessons learned from Stuxnet and similar attacks have reshaped cybersecurity strategies. But the reality remains that ICS environments continue to face evolving threats from advanced, state-sponsored actors seeking to disrupt critical processes. Ransomware has escalated from being a corporate IT nuisance to a major threat capable of crippling industrial control systems and essential services. Unlike typical ransomware attacks that focus on encrypting data, ransomware targeting critical infrastructure often disrupts operational technology by locking out control systems and preventing operators from managing physical processes. The consequences extend beyond financial losses. Hospitals, power grids, water treatment plants, and transportation networks have all been impacted, demonstrating how ransomware can bring entire communities to a standstill. Recovery from such attacks in an OT environment is particularly challenging due to the difficulty of restoring complex systems, the need to avoid prolonged downtime, and the risk of reinfection if vulnerabilities remain unpatched. ICS operators are now forced to reconsider traditional security assumptions, recognizing that even industrial environments once thought to be air-gapped can be held hostage by cybercriminals demanding multi-million-dollar ransoms. Supply chain attacks have become an increasingly effective method for infiltrating ICS and SCADA systems, as adversaries exploit third-party vendors and software suppliers to introduce vulnerabilities before systems even reach their intended environment. Attackers have compromised hardware components, manipulated firmware during production, and even inserted backdoors into trusted software updates, all with the goal of infiltrating critical infrastructure unnoticed. The interconnected nature of modern supply chains makes it difficult for organizations to verify the integrity of every component, allowing attackers to leverage trusted relationships to bypass traditional security controls. Real-world examples, such as the SolarWinds attack and past intrusions into ICS vendors, have demonstrated how supply chain vulnerabilities can lead to widespread breaches, underscoring the need for rigorous vetting and continuous monitoring of external partners. Insider threats pose a unique challenge to ICS and SCADA security, as employees and contractors with legitimate access can intentionally or unintentionally jeopardize operations. Disgruntled employees have been known to engage in sabotage, manipulating industrial systems to cause downtime or equipment failure. However, accidental breaches are just as concerning, as untrained personnel may misconfigure settings, unknowingly introduce malware, or fall victim to phishing attacks that provide adversaries with unauthorized access. Stolen credentials further amplify the risk, as attackers masquerading as legitimate users can move freely within the network, making detection difficult. Unlike external cyber threats, insider actions often blend into normal operations, requiring a combination of behavioral monitoring, strict access controls, and zero-trust principles to mitigate the risk effectively. Protecting ICS and SCADA systems. Effective protection of industrial control systems, ICS, and supervisory control and data acquisition, SCADA, environments begins with strong network segmentation and isolation, ensuring that critical operational technology, OT, is shielded from potential cyber threats originating in IT networks. Firewalls and demilitarized zones, DMZs, serve as essential barriers, preventing unauthorized access while allowing necessary communication between systems. Limiting external access to ICS components is critical, as remote entry points are often exploited by attackers to gain a foothold in industrial networks. Microsegmentation within OT environments adds another layer of defense, restricting lateral movement by isolating different processes and devices. Cross-network traffic monitoring plays a vital role in detecting anomalies, as unusual activity patterns often signal a breach or an ongoing attack that could compromise industrial operations. Securing communication protocols is a crucial step in defending ICS and SCADA environments from cyber threats, as many legacy protocols were not designed with security in mind. Transitioning to encrypted and authenticated communication methods, such as TLS and IEC 62443, compliant protocols ensures that data in transit remains protected from interception and manipulation. Implementing mutual authentication for device communications further enhances security by ensuring that only authorized systems can interact with industrial controllers and sensors. Remote access remains a significant vulnerability, necessitating the use of VPNs and multi-factor authentication, MFA, to prevent unauthorized logins. Continuous monitoring of communication paths is essential to detect unauthorized activity, as attackers often exploit weak or unsecured connections to gain control over critical processes. Hardening ICS devices and systems is necessary to minimize attack surfaces and prevent exploitation of vulnerabilities that could lead to operational disruptions. Disabling unused services and ports on ICS devices helps reduce exposure to potential threats, eliminating unnecessary entry points for attackers. While patching and firmware updates must be applied cautiously to avoid disrupting critical processes, they remain essential in addressing known security flaws that adversaries frequently exploit. Deploying endpoint protection tailored for OT environments helps safeguard industrial assets from malware and unauthorized access attempts. Intrusion detection and prevention systems, IDS/IPS, designed specifically for ICS protocols, provide an added layer of security, enabling real-time identification and mitigation of threats targeting industrial networks. Comprehensive monitoring and threat detection strategies are essential for maintaining the security and resilience of ICS and SCADA environments, as early identification of anomalies can prevent small incidents from escalating into full-scale attacks. Security Information and Event Management, (IEM) platforms allow for centralized logging and monitoring, providing visibility into network activity and potential threats. Specialized OT threat detection tools are particularly valuable, as traditional IT security solutions often fail to recognize ICS-specific attack patterns. Anomaly detection techniques such as behavioral analysis and machine learning help identify unusual behaviors that may indicate a security breach. Regular vulnerability assessments ensure that weaknesses in the ICS environment are identified and addressed proactively, reducing the likelihood of exploitation by malicious actors. Best practices for ICS and SCADA security. A resilient security framework is the foundation of protecting industrial control systems, ICS, and supervisory control and data acquisition, SCADA, environments from evolving cyber threats. The NIST cybersecurity framework provides a structured approach for securing critical infrastructure, offering a flexible and industry-agnostic methodology for identifying, protecting, detecting, responding to, and recovering from cyber incidents. Complementing this, the IEC 62443 standards address industrial security concerns at a more granular level, outlining specific controls for securing ICS environments. Aligning OT security policies with broader organizational risk management strategies ensures that cybersecurity is not an afterthought, but a core component of operational resilience. Compliance with industry-specific regulations such as NERC CIP for the energy sector or TSA pipeline security guidelines for transportation helps organizations meet legal requirements while also enhancing security postures tailored to their operational needs. Incident response and recovery planning are critical to mitigating the impact of cyber attacks on ICS and SCADA systems, as these environments cannot afford prolonged downtime. Developing OT-specific incident response playbooks ensures that teams know exactly how to react when an attack occurs, reducing confusion and response time. Regular tabletop exercises that include both IT and OT teams provide an opportunity to test and refine these plans, helping identify potential gaps before an actual incident arises. Rapid recovery procedures must be established to restore operational continuity quickly, minimizing disruptions to industrial processes. Learning from post-incident reviews is just as important, as analyzing previous breaches and security events can uncover weaknesses that need to be addressed, strengthening defenses against future threats. Training and awareness are often overlooked but play a vital role in securing ICS and SCADA environments, as human error remains one of the most common causes of security incidents. Security awareness programs tailored to OT personnel help bridge the knowledge gap, ensuring that industrial operators understand the cyber risks associated with their systems. IT staff must also be trained on ICS-specific security challenges, as traditional IT security approaches do not always translate effectively into OT environments. Encouraging collaboration between IT and OT teams fosters a culture of shared responsibility, reducing friction between departments, and enabling a more holistic security approach. Secure development practices for ICS applications should also be prioritized, ensuring that security is baked into the design phase rather than being treated as an afterthought. Future-proofing ICS security requires proactive measures to address emerging threats and technological advancements that could reshape the cybersecurity landscape. Preparing for quantum-resistant cryptographic systems is becoming a necessity, as advancements in quantum computing could render current encryption methods obsolete. Artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning, ML, are increasingly being integrated into ICS security solutions, enabling advanced threat detection and automated responses to mitigate attacks in real time. Securing Internet of Things, IoT, and industrial IoT devices is also critical, as these connected systems expand the attack surface and introduce new vulnerabilities. The use of digital twins, virtual replicas of physical ICS environments, offers a promising approach for real-time threat simulation and testing, allowing organizations to identify and mitigate risks before they impact real-world operations. Conclusion: the security of industrial control systems, ICS, and supervisory control and data acquisition, SCADA, environments is no longer just an operational concern, it is a national security imperative. As cyber threats targeting critical infrastructure continue to grow in sophistication, organizations must move beyond outdated assumptions of air-gapped security and take a proactive stance in defending these essential systems. Strengthening network segmentation, securing communication protocols, and hardening devices are foundational steps, but true resilience requires a holistic approach that includes threat monitoring, rigorous incident response planning, and continuous education for both IT and OT personnel. The evolving landscape of cyber threats demands that ICS security strategies evolve in parallel, integrating emerging technologies like AI-driven threat detection and quantum-resistant cryptographic safeguards. With adversaries adapting their tactics and exploiting every weakness, the responsibility falls on defenders to fortify these systems, ensuring that the industries powering modern society remain secure, stable, and resilient against the next generation of cyber attacks. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Bare Metal Cyber. If you enjoyed the podcast, be sure to subscribe and share it. You can find all my latest content, including newsletters, podcasts, articles, and books at baremetalcyber.com. Join the growing community and explore the insights that reached over 2 million people last year. Your support keeps this community thriving, and I truly appreciate every listen, follow, and share. Until next time, stay safe. Knowledge is power.